po sa inyong lahat. So, today po, yung vlog ko na to is pupunta po kami ng Picton Castle. So, although nandun naman kami every year, pero this year, bibisitahin namin ulit yun. Kasi sobrang nag-enjoy talaga kami kasi may mga ano doon, may mga birds shows doon. Napakagandang tignan. Sobrang dami mong matutunan at the same time, ang gaganda ng mga birds doon. Iba-ibang klase ng owls. So, I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm so excited. We're so excited. So, see you. Hi guys. So, papunta na kami ngayon ng Picton Castle. So, I'm so excited. I can't wait. So, I'll show you around, guys.
See her if she is going to be. She's going
Henry. Henry.
And yet, as I said 2 weeks ago, I was chatting with the nest.
Where are we going?
You know, I was telling you about the blood pressure thing. That was
The castle.
2 weeks ago.
Picton
She was
Castle.
nervous about going to Fishguard, but it was just a rest. It was a rest home up there. She was only going. So now she's back in hospital. He said
Like
something
you say-
went on at Fishguard. He said, "But let Bethan tell you about it."
You just get to the point. They just, yeah, you
You're going basically straight on. See where the van is.
Yeah.
Hi guys. Pupunta kami ngayon ng Picton Castle para mag-explore.
Yeah.
They just probably set home on
So we could have come that way as well. Lots of people do. But it's like any old-fashioned way. They're quite useful there if one's blocked. Or
Yes.
there's a traffic. Get it out again. Oh, 2 little babies down here playing. Kits and lickets.
Thank you. Hi. Hey.
Little baby animals are the same as baby children. They play. Oh yeah. Fight, play fight. Into everything.
What's he, Henry? You read?
They certainly in the past couple you think
He wants a friend.
He's
how
all
many years? Not that
alone.
many years, this was just the Bluebell walk, do you remember? And now they're done again.
Because they're still building some of it last time.
Yeah. Oh. No. They've done a lot more since then. I mean, they've done. Oh, is that more fun?
Wonder Dickens Hornbill. What's the name? Gorgeous, isn't it?
Very lucky.
American mink, stoats, and weasels. Oh, he's waiting. Yum yum.
Is that an otter?
It is.
Yeah, I found an otter.
Can you use this camera so I can pick Henry up?
Yeah. Where's the others?
Where's the others?
It is just him. I explain why in the talk that they're solitary anyway.
They're waiting. He's very patient.
Look as cute as you want, you're gonna wait.
Oh, the biscuit. The one of those is not me on the menu.
So he's the only one. They're solitary anyway.
He looks like falling over.
Does he?
Mm-hmm.
I can't stick my head down in front of Mummy's camera. There he is.
It's really, you can see properly down there.
Feeding time.
Well, we'll come up here a bit nearer if he wants to.
Yeah. What's this one?
Cannonball.
Oh, she's done.
Oh, really, it's in the water.
Wait. River. Cannonball.
Ready?
Cannonball. Water.
So welcome to our otter talk, where I'll be telling you a little bit about Freddie here. He's our Eurasian otter and he's around 4 years old now. So he came to us a couple of years ago from a sanctuary down in Cornwall. Unfortunately, they closed when COVID hit, as they no longer had the funds. But we did say we'd take in 2 of their. Ultimately though, River was a lot older than Freddie. She was about 15, he's only 4 years old, and so she did pass away last Christmas.
Oh.
It is expected with otters though, as they only do live 15 to 20 in captivity. The issue we have now though, is we're not too sure if we're going to get Freddie another female. And this is simply because when River was in here, she bullied Freddie in every sense of the word. She would tell him where he can eat, sleep, and virtually everything else, and he never really came out for displays like this. It is typical with otters that even though the males are larger, it is usually the females that are the more dominant ones. So at the minute, we're quite happy to leave Freddie in here by himself. He seems a lot more clever. The females just boss around the males. So there are 13 different species of otter in the world. The largest is the Amazon river otter. They can grow up to about 6 foot long and weigh the same as a 10-year-old child. The smallest type of otter though is probably one you're a lot more familiar with, and that's the Asian short-clawed otter. They make really popular display otters in zoos simply because they're diurnal, so they're out in the daytime, but they're also social, so they live in large groups. Now, unfortunately for Freddie here, he is not only nocturnal, so this is the only time of day you will see him, but he is also solitary. It makes him an absolutely rubbish display otter. However, so long as you're here at 12, you do get the chance to see that face of his. Saying that though, with the hot weather, he does pop out every now and then to have a swim around in his pool, making all the other animals envious of him. So otters are found all across the world. You'll find them everywhere except for Antarctica, the Arctic, Madagascar, New Zealand and Australia. Eurasian otters though are found all across Europe and Asia. You'll find them as far as Thailand, Sri Lanka, up to Russia and down to North Africa. They are the only otters native to the British Isles though, and there's believed to be around 10,000 of them in the UK at the minute. And in the wild, a male otter like Freddie would have an area of about 20 to 40 kilometres, and he would be the only male otter in this area. He would, however, share it with about 3 to 5 females though, but all he would do is go around and mate with them, as soon as the female gets pregnant, she tells him to go away. This is just because, like typical men, male otters are incredibly greedy, and he would eat the entire food supply for her and her kits, so it's really not something she can have hanging about. Does mean the female raises them completely on her own. They have around 9 weeks gestation, and 9 to 12 weeks after that is when they learn how to swim. It is around 18 months to 2 years old though that they're classed as fully grown, and at this point the young males do have to leave the area. So it is often a young male otter you'll find in your back gardens, on roads or railways, simply looking for a new place to live. The females can stay though, as it doesn't cause any issues or competitions with their dad. It's only the male otters that are incredibly territorial and dominant. So Freddie's learned quite a few things since he's been with us. Something he's showing you now is his station training. So we basically taught him that every time we throw a large piece of food into the water, he's to bring it out, pick a window and eat in front of it. It means that everyone gets a better look at him, and we taught him this using his absolute favourite food, which is beef. So every time he did this, we'd reward him with a little bit of beef, and over time he just learned this behaviour. Something else I'm doing is every time I tap, it means come closer. If I wave, it means swim away from me. Good boy. He's also been point trained with a stick, so we have a stick with an orange ball on the end of it, and he knows if he taps that, he gets his whole daily reward of food in one go. We use this for things like when we get the scary scales out that Freddie is absolutely terrified of. And as adorable as that face is, Freddie was incredibly bitey when he came to us. He would go straight for your ankles in the hopes of food. He has a very broad but short and powerful jaw. It is really not something you want round your feet. So instead we taught him that if we lift up the bottom of our shoes and he taps it with his nose, he gets a reward of a chip instead. And so far, my ankles have been saved from his teeth. However, if I was to come in here with no food, I don't think that would last very long. Some things you'll notice about Freddie though, particularly when he's under the water, is that trail of bubbles rising up there. This is not him breathing. He's got 2 layers of coats. He's got a very thick underlayer which keeps him warm even in freezing winter, and then an outer layer which is very oily and virtually waterproof. And these basically compress together to cause that bubble effect called porpoising, which is where he basically dives in and out of the water the way a dolphin would. It is a much quicker method of swimming, however Freddie only does it if he can be bothered. He is quite a temperamental otter. He hates any loud noises. I did a display and a plane flew over and he went straight back to bed. As well as this, he isn't the most graceful of otters. River was always the more graceful of the two. She kind of glided into the pond. On many occasions, Freddie will belly flop and splash above me today. It sounds like a lot, but it's what you would expect an otter his size to eat. He's around 15 to 16 kilos and is around 3 feet.
It's hard to remember last time trying to get pictures.
The number of times I've heard recently, owls aren't actually that wide, they're quite thick. We just have associated them, but they're actually quite, not quite as clever as we think they are.
Murder.
Matthew? Trying to get through the code.
Dad,
Yeah,
what is there another one?
Monkey
Well, it says 2
puppy.
names, doesn't it? Unless his name's Wonky Poppy.
That's the name.
I don't see him walking in.
Nice, isn't it? She, he, her, maybe a name like Poppy. Finding down here somewhere, trying to find a cool spot to sit in.
European kestrel.
Nice, Selma.
I like your name.
Are you looking at me?
She's
for?
wide awake.
yeah.
He's looking at you, babe. You think you're gorgeous.
If I come back this way, are you going to follow me around this way? Yes, you are. Welcome.
Please do not feed or approach.
What's me?
Approach.
What does it mean?
Zoom in close enough, it
When you
misses
approach.
the mesh, but not this way.
Like, hi, Henry. So that is approach. Oh, it's a show off.
Well, I'm just wondering if he's trying to work the mesh free.
Just getting maybe.
Bold-belled heron. His name is Donald. Hi, Donald.
Maybe that's some fruit on.
Oh wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no. It's
Why
I think
is
it's just a
over there?
response.
What is this up there?
How are you, Donald? Nice to meet you, Donald. The Welsh Owl Garden at Picton Castle. Kim, Kenny. Oh, they're a couple.
The same.
Kenny. Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. They're a couple. Celebrate Chick Hornbell. His name is Pirate. Oh, he's a star.
I want to see.
I remember him. He's a star.
Yeah, he came out last one, didn't
Yes, he's a star. Yeah, he's eating.
Mommy, look.
He's a star, baby. He's a star.
Nothing.
Fluffy McFluffball.
No, that's mine. It is mine.
Pirate, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
What is that for?
Uh,
You're making a noise.
I think Steve's right. It's probably feeding time.
A feeding time?
And,
Yeah. Yeah, it's
they
12
want their
12:30.
food.
Yeah,
Fluffy.
feeding time.
Fluffy McFluffball.
Muckfluff ball.
All the us look like this.
Oh, that was right at the back. Yeah, look.
Yeah.
Good climbing.
Yeah, they use their claws to climb.
Definitely think it's
They're
feeding.
hungry.
I think they're waiting
Feeding
patiently
time,
for food.
Baba.
There's some lunch coming soon.
Fluffy.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, it's definitely food time.
He's hungry.
Elsa. Elsa.
That's why we got the
Henry the bird. Henry the bird.
Right, okay.
Incorporated it here. She's very clever to do all that.
Yeah, that's it. Nice.
I want to see it fly again.
Because they got the visitors here and they probably didn't. I remember it used to be. I remember it used to be the Alpha.
There's more.
Oh wow.
Very
Very big.
eagle owl. Well, there you go.
Big bird.
It's Henry.
Yeah.
Erica. Where are you all came from? You are so gorgeous. Yeah. European eagle owl. Boo 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 boo. The Welsh owl. Erica. Hi. Southern ground hornbill.
Mummy,
Yes,
I
baby.
found a Yoshi.
Okay.
It's come.
Yeah, I remember Was it Thor that came out last
The
time? Or was
pirate,
it
I think, wasn't it? Yeah.
Pirate, yeah. Thor and Jane. They're a couple. So I don't know which one is Thor or Jane. So it might be Thor is the big one. Because he's a male and Jane is a bit smaller because she's a woman or she's a girl or female. Borrowing owl. There you go. So digger dumper, I presume he is a male bird or male owl. Laughing kookaburra. Yushi! Hi Yushi! Bob and Betty.
1975.
Snowy owl.
Some of the names.
Title.
Title? Kaito now, is that okay? Yeah, you've got some good examples of names here.
You can't go left there. So what's up here?
Turn around and come up
We
again.
did that bit. didn't we?
Hi
So
Title!
Go this way, Henry.
No, I think you
Oh, you make a
No, we
noise.
just been round that way.
Is that a
We've been up this way,
sponge?
Henry. If we get to the seat there.
Look how lovely. How lovely you are. Reintroductions. So, Mabula Ground Hornbill Research Project carried out the first introduction of southern ground hornbills in 1999 into a protected reserve in Limpopo. Yes, indeed.
Where are we going up here?
Oh my god. It's absolutely huge.
So you get them in the Philippines, but you never see them because
Oh my lord.
staff probably.
Thor and Jane.
Ethel.
Rosie, sweetie. Rosie. Rosie, my
Reticulated python. Malayoptyton reticulatus. So, reticulated python is found in South and Southeast Asia from the Nicobar Islands, India, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam, Malaysia, and Singapore, East, Indonesia, and Indo, Australia, Archipelago, Sumatra, and Mindanao Islands, the Natuna Islands, Borneo, Sulawesi, Java, Lombok, Sumatra, Zomba, Flores, Timor, Malacca. In the Philippines, Pasilan, Bohol, Cebu, Leyte, Luzon, Mindanao, Mindoro, Negros, Palawan, Panay, Polillo, Samar, Tawi-Tawi. Wow, never encounter. I've never seen you yet. Rufus, Scarlet, Dart, Maul. Where are you guys? Oh! It's a turtle. And there's the, what's the other one? Gecko? Yes. It's a tortoise. Red tego and red for the tortoise. Okay. He's eating grass. Argos. Argus monitor, Varanus panoptis. Hi, sweetie.
Well, it'll be fully fine now, there's some big ones.
Oh God, yeah, huge.
You point to the gate when you're backing up.
What's the time there?
The time
Nice.
is 12:37.
Oh,
Okay.
should we go?
Yeah, again.
You still have 30 minutes or 20 minutes.
Some people in the musicals make it and then they disappear because they've made their money and they're quite happy to.
Hi, baby. Oh, that's all view part tortoise. Beautiful color in it. You want to sit in the...
We're going to sit and lean at the back.
Okay.
I think Henry wants to sit at the front.
You want to sit in the front?
You sit in the front of Henry, so you can film.
Yeah.
And we'll put, yeah, so that's it.
You sure?
Yes,
Okay.
I'll see better. Last time I couldn't see at the back.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, what about we?
Hi guys, hi everyone. So waiting kami ngayon sa bird show. Excited na kami.
Oh, the escape room, no.
Wala pa masyadong gaano pa. Maya pa yan mapupunta.
It was really hard. It was Lewis, Cherry, James, and myself. It was harder than the other one.
Yeah, 'cause that
Way
one,
hard. Each one, there was some physical things that were quite tricky, and unless you got that straight away, I know. So I often wonder what they were
Hi
like.
guys, so waiting pa kami ngayon sa
I
bird
think-
show.
If we did it again, you know
Excited
that
now.
bit to go for first because
yeah.
you know what.
Hindi pa
whereas it took a
puno,
long
so maya
time to
maya
get
mag-start
down,
ng
and
mga alauna.
Jamie and Lewis couldn't get these things out of this cage. Oh,
Getting frustrated.
it was very tricky. It was a hard one. That I did find it harder than the Victorian one.
Excited na
But I
yun.
think they've got. I don't know if they've got different ones somewhere. As
Are you excited for the bird show?
Probably, yeah. 'Cause I think when we look at them, you go online, you can see
Henry,
various
look.
different
I
places for
think
China.
they have, yeah, but they're quite expensive to do. You know,
Yeah.
but Jamie said that they had often thought about doing something. Too, but
Fluffy is a boo-boo owl, and like all of the owls, he will fly very close to you. So if you can try and stay as still as possible, that would be fantastic. We don't want to have any collisions. So the reason that Fluffy can fly quite so close to you like this is because he is a woodland bird. He normally flies between the branches and the leaves, trying to catch all the insects that he can. He actually makes up 80% of his diet with dragonflies. And being able to dive in between the trees is really useful for him, makes it much easier for him to catch his food. And we tend to find that as long as the gap is bigger than 5 inches, and he can fit his head through it. The rest of his body is going to follow. Okay. And so he will be able to fly really close. Come on. Good boy. So he is called a barred owl in Europe and in America. But if you go to Australia or New Zealand, you might hear them referred to as mopokes. They just have a slightly different name for them. We call them bubooks because as adults, it sounds like they're saying bubuk. So it sounds like they're telling you what they are. However, you might have already noticed, if you've been able to hear Fluffy calling, that he sounds a little bit more like a telephone ringer. That's because he does make his baby noise pretty much all the time. Like all of the owls we fly here, he is hand-reared. And that's because, unfortunately, owls aren't very smart. If we tried to fly an owl that had been reared by his parents, he'd be so frightened of us that he would probably die of stress before he actually learned to fly. So instead, we have to raise them from quite young chicks, so they think of us as their parents and want to stay around and fly with us. You might have also noticed that I'm hand feeding him, so owls do have really bad eyesight up close, which is why I said you're going to need to try and sit as still as possible, because he won't be able to see if you've moved into his flight path, because you'll just be a little bit of a blur to him. Okay. He does spend a lot of his time at the back there looking up at the sky, and that's because he is a very nervous bird now. He used to be the most confident bird we had. However, a few years ago, a buzzard landed in the arena with him, and he thought, I can take on that buzzard easy. It was a surprise to no one, but the difference of 1/1,000,000th of a second between the sound hitting one ear and it hitting the other. He can tell exactly where that sound has come from. That means that he can catch something just by listening to its heartbeat without ever actually being able to see it. Okay. Are you done? Unfortunately, it does mean that he has to use 70% of his brain to interpret the sound that he hears. And so that means that he's only got 30% of his brain for literally everything else. So the idea of the wise-old owl is complete myth. They are very much the lights are on, but nobody is home. They're very reactive hunters. They'll fly towards something they think they can eat, and they'll fly away from something they think is going to eat them. And that is as complicated as his thinking can get. So Fluffy is just going to head off before I get the next bird out, because we are going from the smallest bird in this display, to the largest. Now, I said that if you sat nice and still, they would be able to avoid you.
Oh, gorgeous.
He's actually the heaviest species of owl in the world by weight.
Wow.
You love those birds? It is actually native to the UK.
Gorgeous.
Almost like the ones on holiday. 400 years ago, there's always been a really healthy population in Europe. However, we don't think that the reintroduction of them has been caused by them flying back over from Europe, because she is essentially just a fat, lazy owl. She's not going to make that flight for no reason. So we think it's more likely that those ones are ones that are from captivity, that have either been accidentally or maliciously released. They are doing relatively well. There's thought to be about 15 pairs in different places around the UK. However, we're not doing much to help them, for one very specific reason. The people most upset about their return is the RSPB. And that's because we're looking at the only bird of prey that will happily hunt and kill other birds of prey. So things like marsh harriers, hen harriers and honey buzzards, everything that the RSPB want to protect, Erica will quite happily eat. It is actually how we knew we had returned. We were watching a buzzard nest cam, when all of a sudden 2 beautiful orange eyes came out of the darkness, and the female buzzard disappeared from the nest. And that was the first sighting we'd had of a European eagle owl in about 300 years.
Wow.
But it's not just other birds of prey that she eats. She is capable of taking down anything up to the size of a small deer or a fox. She has incredibly powerful feet. She has about That's okay, if you do that. Erica. She also has talons that are just slightly longer than a black bear's claw, and a little mechanism in the bottom of her foot that means that anything that she touches, her foot will automatically close around it. It's the same mechanism that crocodiles have in their mouth. And it means that whereas most birds rely on hitting something so hard that it's either going to be dead or unconscious before they have to deal with it, Erica will literally just hold on to it until it gives up. Erica, come on. We might have to cut Erica a little bit short today. She looks like she's struggling a little bit in the heat. Anyone who's got decent eyesight might be able to see that just underneath her chin, she is puffing out that little bit of feather. So that is how owls pant. So I am just going to quickly pop her back to her aviary. We don't want her to overheat being out in the sunshine. Her aviary is nice and cool, and she can choose to have a bath if she wants to help her cool down. A really common misconception we have about owls is that they can turn their head when come to that Erica is back in her aviary. This little one would normally fly with a partner, but Dermot decided he didn't want to fly today. And that's fine, we don't make any of our birds fly if they choose they don't want to. Here is a British barn. He normally flies with an American barn owl, and we're hoping to increase this little end bit to include as many different subspecies of barn owl as we can. There is actually, or there used to be, 36 different subspecies of barn owl. But depending on where you are in the world, does depend on what your barn owls look like. As you get further south towards the equator, they actually completely reverse in coloration to the point at which they are completely grey and brown with little white spots, rather than white with little brown spots. You can do flying. You are capable. This is going super well. In his defence, he was only born last year, so this is his first summer, and he's probably a little bit hot, a little bit confused as to why his friend isn't here, and a little bit like, there's an audience and I'm scared. Come on, it's okay. You're not going to move away. Okay, fine. I'll just talk about this one. So barn owls normally are one of the most active flying birds, normally. And they find it really easy to fly because they've got a really low wing to weight ratio. And that means that he only weighs about 300 grams, and he's got a 3-foot wingspan. Whereas Erica, who was just out, she weighs 2 kilos. She's only got a 6-foot wingspan. So it takes her a lot of effort to get up and moving around. Whereas him, it takes very little. Pretty much on a windy day, they are just kites. That's possibly one of the reasons that barn owls are the only active hunting owl species. They'll go out and do something called quartering, which is where they try and catch all that extra air that they might, or all that extra sound they might make. You might have seen pictures online of exactly how long owls' feet are, or owls' legs are, and that's because all of that extra fluff helps to dampen sound. And then they've done a massive evolutionary trade-off, and that is that they cannot fly in the rain because they have absolutely no waterproofing on their feathers. So they've got really soft, delicate feathers, but they are essentially giant flying sponges. It is one of the reasons that our barn owl numbers in the UK do have such a hard time when it's really wet. And that's because if it's 3 or 4 days of constant rain, they won't be able to hunt, and so they won't survive. It means that in a really dry year, they can have up to the whole thing is a pair calling to each other. But other owls, they make a whole host of noises, and obviously the boo-boo sounds like a little telephone. Little owls also just the shape of their face. So I am going to pop Ad back in his aviary, mostly because if not, I probably wouldn't be. But I hope you enjoyed the display. Sorry it was a little bit shorter than it probably should have been, or normally would have been. We do have our reptile encounter up here at 2 o'clock. Our 3 o'clock display is cancelled because of the heat. But other than that, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes. Something was the gulls. It might well have been an owl.
Yeah, so, yeah, it could be anything.